Hey guys, what's up? It's Overly Conversated Overtime. It's your girl Victoria, Victron, V12, Lady V, whatever you want to call me. Today we have a very special guest. I'm so hyped to talk to him. His name's Cary Fagan. He's a photographer. You've probably seen him work somewhere. What's up?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
For sure, for sure. So you're in Houston right now, just taking the quarantine in?
Yeah, I'm enjoying my time. I'm used to it, so I'm really just continuing to refine the things that I've already started or been wanting to start. Um, it's been nice.
Definitely, for sure. Yeah, and I guess to start our conversation, I know puzzles are a big piece of your art, and right now puzzles are kind of like coming back. People have nothing else to do, so they're trying to be creative. Have you seen, are people buying more puzzles? Are you kind of getting more interest in
So
those, or?
it's really interesting, actually. I am getting a lot more sales and puzzles. I'm getting a spike, actually.
Good.
Um, People want to disconnect, and people are using this time to, well, I think people are using this time to connect with people even more because we are so connected and we forget to retouch with people that we know. But also, people are disconnecting because this time is allowing for it, because there is nowhere to go. And we can now simply relax,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of sad that this type of thing has to happen for a lot of us to really relax.
Mm-hmm.
But it is also nice because now people do gravitate towards the simple things. In Houston, I ride my bike every day normally, and it's nice because now every day you see people at the parks and people
Mm-hmm.
are working out and people are outside and people are doing things, and that didn't happen before. I mean, people did it before, but it wasn't as of a priority because
Mm-hmm.
we had all these distractions.
Mm-hmm.
So now the simple things are coming back, and it's nice. I mean, I've enjoyed people watching on my bike every time I go, and it's like more and more people every day, which, I mean, they're not really practicing social distancing, but the people watching is nice. I'm staying my distance.
Right? You're following the rules. So
Yeah.
definitely. No, that's so cool. And when did you think of that idea of I'm gonna make my photographs puzzles? What made you do that?
So about 2 years ago, and I will say, with every new idea, things don't really pop off instantly. So 2 years ago, I was really pushing puzzles, and I was competing against distractions, and I was having sales, but it took me 2 years to really study and then figure out and then I'm still figuring that out. Actually, the question I keep asking myself right now is what towards my products is what do people fantasize about my work or my
Mm.
product? What do they think about? What do they want? What do they need? So thinking about that is something that I haven't figured out yet. But with the recent sales and the reviews that I've been getting, it's helping me, understand that communication.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think that was the article you just sent me, but it helps the audience too to engage with your work more. Like I'm working on the puzzle you first sent me, and yeah, you can see the texture of the wood and the lighting, how it gradients, and it is it gives a deeper appreciation for the details and the.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I do them myself, and
Mhm.
what I like about them, because I've done this a few times now, where I'll have an event and I'll have a few puzzles on the table, and
Okay.
I'll have some strangers, people that may know each other, may not come together without their phones, and we all just do a puzzle together. And just mostly everyone that starts with the puzzle, they're kind of doubting themselves. They're like, well, I don't know, like, if I can do this. I haven't done one in a long time.
Mhm.
But then you see them like piecing together pieces, and you see them starting to get inspired. You see the wheels start circling, and then like you see a friend next to them or a stranger, and they'll be like, "Yo, I got it," and then like they got it, and then they're working together, and so now this becomes like a team activity, and so now people are really engaging, and it's really simple, but it's interactive and it's engaging and it's inspiring, and now people always leave this space feeling really good about themselves, and that's the best part about it. That's all that it takes, and I mean, that's really why I like selling them. It's for the feedback. A lot of families are starting to buy these puzzles,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the refreshing part about this process, is because now families are doing things together
Mm-hmm.
instead of being distracted, and that's how it used to be. So
Mm-hmm.
all I'm trying to do is bring back an old pastime and have people enjoy it, but also the twist is piecing together my work and having that concept added. That's all.
Definitely. Yeah. Do you have any personal memories of like building puzzles with family or friends growing up, or?
I always did puzzles with my family
Uh-huh.
during Christmas.
Oh, fun. That's good. Yeah, for me, I remember one time we went to a vacation, and the vacation home had like different puzzles, and we'd do the different puzzles. Like, it was just nice to be away, and like my brothers and I just plugged away at the puzzles.
It's a really good, like, just it really just takes you away from reality for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I'm so glad you're doing that. Um, I mean, the reason I found out about you was because you did ASAP Rocky's testing cover.
Yeah.
And yeah, you saw the one clip, but on our show, like, I love testing. I think it's so creative and like, but like, there's four of us and two, like, I'm the one who champions it, and the other guy's like, he thinks it's cool, but the other two people are like, what is this?
There's like a lot of
Definitely,
mixed reviews and a lot of
yeah.
it's underrated. I think after it's been out for a year or so, personally, I think it was a true album of trying something different.
Mm-hmm.
Really distancing yourself from your norm, and applying it to something completely foreign. And I think that's why, I mean, probably why a lot of people may not appreciate it or may not understand it. A lot of people, I think, don't like different. So maybe that could be the theory. I think the album was great. I mean, listening through it all, I have a few favorites. I'm not trying to be biased, but like every new album, I love music, and every new album I listen to, like, I'm gonna give it an honest review. And I mean, there's like maybe one or two songs that I wouldn't replay on the album, but overall, like, I'm really proud of the artwork, but I'm really proud of the whole process and the album and the sound and the movement itself.
Yeah, yeah. And like for you, like for your process getting involved with it, did you hear the music first before you thought of the cover, or like did you talk with
Not
Rocky before?
hear any of the music.
Really? Uh huh. So you
And it's funny because a lot of people made the comparison to the NWA cover, I believe.
yeah.
And I had no idea like that was the cover.
Uh
I
huh.
didn't even when I made my mood board and everything, I didn't even come across that image.
Uh huh.
That was like the very ironic thing. There's like a Reddit thread somewhere.
That's funny.
It was cool. I'm not even tripping that people make that comparison. I think it's interesting in a way.
Yeah, that's an iconic cover art in like a different subgenre completely. So to have that parallel and that,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's cool.
Right.
And the cover itself, it's very shadowy, and I remember you saying there's no, like, that's literally the lighting of the photo shoot, right? Like,
So, the lady that I hired, Carmel. I'm going to say her name right, Carmel. That's what she likes to be called by. She does lighting, gaffing in New York, and I met her through a friend, Damani. He does 3D work and also lighting and a lot of like visual work. And he introduced me to her. And the day of the shoot, I had brought them both on. I've never worked with them both before. I worked with Damani on a project probably like months before. He introduced me to Carmel. They both came on this set. It was my first time meeting Carmel, and it was like super, like, it wasn't like unplanned. It was last minute, but it didn't feel like uncomfortable or like super frantic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just said, do your thing. Like, this is ideally what I want. And she did it. And from that day, like, I always work with her for lighting. We've done several projects together. Yeah, she and Damani are great.
Yeah, that's so cool. And that's cool that you found like a teammate in that too, and like you can keep continuing that chemistry and that.
Yeah, she's flown out here to Houston like 2 or 3 times for some projects. It's cool to have that like type of team or like communication with someone where you can always just rely on them or just work on them with someone, or just someone that you can even talk to without speaking.
Mm. Yeah, just you like get each other that instant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. What has kind of your journey been like as a photographer? Like just finding your own, because your style and is so distinct, and so like how have you kind of found your own voice and your own?
It took me a while to find my style.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently found my voice. I know what my role is and what my goals are, what my direction is.
Mm-hmm.
I got it from my father. He does photography. He inspired me a lot to pick up a camera. I shadowed him, learned a lot of the basics, and then I kind of took it into my own hands and taught myself for years. But for years, I've always been searching for my style. I noticed that I love to shoot very dark settings, and in settings with low light, but also shooting in the camera with low light. I love challenging my settings, and I always get like it's always different every time, so I can't really put words on that. But I can't explain how I got into like the music side of it all. I can only say that through word of mouth and a few projects that I've done with companies that it got me there. I enjoy being in this. I think it's kind of cool to have this kind of position, being the type of photographer I am and what I shoot. So I have a little versatility. Before all of this, I've always done like wedding photography. I did club photography for a while. I did event photography. Bugs, nature. I've done every type of genre. So for a while, over 10 years, I've been trying to find my style. I think I finally found the idea of my style, what I enjoy taking photos of. And like I said, I just recently found my voice.
Yeah, that must be exciting for you to that's like a moment of clarity and of peace when you're like, wow, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What, was there a specific photo or a specific moment for you that was like, wow, this is it?
I could show you.
Oh, sure.
Don't tell. Yeah, let me show you.
Okay. I'm excited.
I don't really show it often, so I need to show it. I'm gonna show it. So maybe let's see. 2016. It's what, 2020, 4 years ago.
Okay.
So the newspaper, the Houston Chronicle,
okay,
put me in their newspaper one morning. Just for doing what I love to do.
Yeah. Wow.
And that moment made me realize that I am doing what I'm doing. It says, freezing a moment, Houston photographer finds a following. And I mean, 4 years ago, like, film photography, I mean, no one was really doing that. And I was already in debt. I was already like going against the grain. I was doing the impossible. And even then, I didn't think a lot was possible. I thought I was just kind of climbing a ladder of infinity. I still kind of feel like that now. Obviously, like, artists aren't ever content with like their careers. They want to keep going. But you know, back then, I really had no direction, and this was the first kind of thing that gave me like an insight of my future. Yeah.
Oh, that's so powerful. Thank you for sharing that. That's such a cool moment. And yeah, that's important to have like that sense of, I know obviously that internal like validation is what matters most, but to have that outside like affirmation, and like that is so needed, to just be like, okay, I'm on the right track. Because it can be exhausting, just like, what am I doing? And
hey, I mean, I've burned out a lot. I mean, not a lot, like a few times, like 2 or 3 times. So it happens.
I think the best of us like go so hard, and then it's like you inevitably hit a wall, and then it's like, what do you do after that? You know, that's, if you keep going and keep processing, that's when you're gonna keep going. So another artist you've worked with is Solange, and you did the work for When I Get Home, right? The visuals and stuff for... Yeah, what was it? And she's from Houston also.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. What was kind of that process?
You go on Spotify and like you click any of her songs and you see any of the video. I did all of that. And there's like a few album like artwork photos that I did.
That's cool.
I was mainly working a lot of behind the scenes on the set, and I have hundreds of photos that people haven't seen from the set and more.
Definitely. And was connecting with her pretty organic too? Like,
oh yeah,
what's
I mean,
her?
She's Cancer. I'm a Cancer. I don't really like follow all of that, but I think that we do have the same type of energy. She's definitely one to do things naturally, and things kind of happen naturally. And when you're working with Solange, she allows you to be yourself. You know, sometimes when you're working in these types of settings, you feel a pressure, or you feel a little anxious, or you feel a rush, and sometimes that voice that says, you know, be yourself. It's okay. Slow down, or you know, that voice sometimes isn't there. So to have that voice, to have Solange tell me that, for me to be myself in her setting, really allows me to apply my best in her environment and be proud of that, and always want to work with her. I mean, anytime someone asks me how is it working with her, it's great. It's amazing. I never have a bad experience. It's always something new. Yeah, it's natural.
That's so important. That's so good. You said you're Cancer. When's your birthday?
July 8th.
Okay. Mine's July 13th, so we're close.
Oh, nice.
That's fun.
Nice. That water energy.
I guess so. Let's see, what else? Yeah, I want to talk about Chairs Are People, too. I know that's kind of like your new passion project, and something besides photography that's kept you creative. And especially now that we're like in quarantine and maybe you don't have as many chairs to play with, but what's kind of been what's your vision for that right now?
Well, actually, um, I'm working on a toy set.
Oh, that's so
Just like the
good.
puzzles, I'm working on kind of a toy set for a resale. I have prototypes with me that I've been playing with and kind of testing. I just posted a photo on my Instagram, like this morning of kind of a stack I did. I'll post more of it soon. That's one thing I just started like 2 days ago. And then I did a project with the Museum of Fine Arts in Houston here before quarantine, where it was a Chairs Are People event. People came, watched me stack chairs, but also got to be a part of it and stack also. We're working on another project together when things kind of open back up, or maybe on kind of the Instagram Live deal. We're still in talks with that. But then this quarantine doesn't stop me from anything, really. I'm doing another project with chairs, 36 ways on how to wear a chair.
Okay.
And that's something that I'm doing. So there's 3 things that I'm doing that'll take a little while, but keeping myself inspired.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, a chair, you're showing, already you've shown how one chair can be like 5 different things, so I'm sure, yeah, you're just keeping the creative energy, and yeah, that's good. That's good. I don't know, anything else that you wanted to talk about? I feel like you always have so much going on. Like, is there something that, like, that's been inspiring you a lot lately, or?
Well, lately I've been writing. I started a manuscript of poems and just kind of words, thoughts that trace my mind. I've been asked to work on like a 2-page spread of writing for this book in like Paris or something. So that's something I haven't started on that yet, but I'm gonna source some of the stuff that I've already written and try to think of new things. That's writing has been something I recently started this year, and it's something I want to continue. I want to make a book one day, and that's one lane of something like completely new that I'm trying. And then also with music and sound, I'm looking to make my own album on voice memos, either like a soundscape or something like with narration. I just ordered a synth, so I'm going to start playing that. I play the theremin, and then I have an omnichord. Maybe Google that if you're not familiar.
Okay, we'll give our readers some homework.
But I just started playing music, so that's another thing. So realistically, that's all I'm up to. I study Japanese, so that's something I do on the side. But every day is different. That's really it.
Yeah. No, and you had did you have a showcase or something in Japan last year?
Yeah. So I had a solo exhibition / residency. In, I believe it was May. Yeah, May. And I lived there for like about a month. I lived in Japan for about three months. But the residency was for a month, and at the end of that month, I got to do a solo exhibit, and that's when I did my first Chairs Are People sculpture. That was the first time I took that risk and tried something completely new, because I didn't really want to just show my photographs. I did, but it was more about the sculptural, physical pieces. And I will say that, like, showing my work in that medium versus having something on the wall and explaining it is completely different. And so that feeling is something that I really love. Not saying that this feeling is something old, but this is something that I'm very curious about. So now, with chairs are people and stacking, I'm also into design, and I'm also into, what more I can do. I mean, this is my first chair design.
Okay.
So I have someone putting this together in like a 3D whatever graph.
Mm-hmm.
But ideally...
And is that a pipe cleaner? Is that what you...
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Ideally, like, these are the legs, and like the seat is hovering over it. There's a Natuzzi chair that does the same thing, and it's a curve, but the seat is like suspending.
Oh.
I'm thinking of like using that same material, but like using one piece of metal to make this chair.
Yeah.
Just something I thought of.
Yeah. It would be art and utility too. Like, you can sit on the art.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, anything else that you want? I know, how about you? Because you said you're always listening to music, and what are you listening to right now? What's some new artists or right now, throwbacks that...
I've been listening to Gambino's new album a lot.
That one's really good.
The very last song is something that gets me like going, like pumped up. Third song is pretty nice.
I liked 21 Savage was like a nice little surprise on there. I was like,
yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. King Cruel's new album. What's that song called? Underclass.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite songs. And then just some old stuff like Kool and the Gang, Roy Ayers. I've been tuning in. The cool thing about the quarantine is I've been like all the IG lives. Like, I have been tuning in. Like, I'm not really good at IG live myself, but there's been a few I've been like checking out. Like Questlove, he always plays good music, and like always plays good music. So I mean, if you haven't seen that one, check it out. And then like the battles are really cool.
Yeah.
I haven't been tuning into all of them, but I've seen like the RZA one, and that was it. I've only seen that one. I also don't even keep up with that stuff. It just kind of happens. So like, I see it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll tune in for.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track of now too, and then there'll be like 3 things at the same time. It's like a night in LA. You have to pick one of the 5 events you have to go to.
I know, it's crazy. The live culture is crazy. It's different. It's kind of funny. It's like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for Pharrell to do something live. Or like, that would be tight.
That would be so fun. Do you think he should battle, or do you think he should just like do a DJ set or like a?
If he battled, like, that would be a treat.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun, for sure. Definitely.
Who would he have to battle? I don't even know. Pharrell versus...
I think I've seen some people suggest Kanye.
Man, nah, that's too, like...
Yeah.
It has to be someone else. Like, maybe, like, Pharrell and Pusha T, or, like...
That would be interesting.
You know, like...
Kind of throw the...
Or, like, Pharrell and Nigo or some shit.
Yeah. Pharrell's he has so much territory. Like, you would have to just, like, make him pick one
Pharrell
lane.
and Timbaland.
Huh? And Timbaland. Oh, okay.
That would be good.
That one would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm requesting for that.
Right? Well, I'll put in a...
If you hear me, Pharrell and Timbaland, I want y'all to, like, put on a battle, please.
We'll send our mentions to Swizz Beats right now, so he can get that going. So, well, it'll be fun. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Cary. I really appreciate you and
thank you
giving
for your time.
us some education and inspiration. And drop your handles so people know where to follow you.
Oh, yeah. All right. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Cary Cary dot Fagan Fagan. On Twitter, it's just Cary Fagan without the period. And if you want to disconnect, visit Timeless Goods. It's on Instagram, timelessgoods.store. Wait, I don't even know my own phone. Let me tell you all correctly.
Yes.
So it's great. It's timeless.goods. So if you want to disconnect, it's timeless.goods. And that's where you can find puzzles and my work. And that's it. Oh, if you see any chairs are people on Instagram.
There you go. Yeah, that one. I remember one time I was walking on like Fairfax or something, and this random store had this like these chairs all. I don't remember, but it was like they're copying you. It was cool though. Yeah, tag chairs are people, because if you keep an eye out for it, you'll see it like everywhere. So.
When you get off of this call, go on Instagram and just type in chairs are people, and like the day I made that account, there's so many mock like fake accounts.
Really?
It's crazy.
That is crazy. But you're the originator. Put some respect on the name. So, alright.
Flattered.
Well, you guys know where to follow us. Overly Conversated at OV_conversated on Twitter. Overly Conversated on Instagram. Stay tuned. We'll just keep rolling out content until we have something else to do. So, you guys take it easy. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.